Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Svanjikalpatrupasya kripa sindhubhyo vachapatitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Anantakoti Vaishnavavrinda jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Sikho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Anita Ramya from Sharjah, UAE, welcoming all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call for the session of Srimad Bhagavatam. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. So before moving on to the session, I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy names written by Srila Vyasadeva, which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in the Padma Purana. Number 1, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Number 2, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. Number 3, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Number 4, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. Number 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to the imagination. Number 6, to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit sinful activities on the chanting of the holy name. Number 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the holy name of the Lord. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against his offenses in order to achieve the desired success, that is Krishna Prema. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call for the session of Srimad Bhagavatam, which will be given by His Grace Keshavanand Prabhu. But before moving on to the session, I would like to know who are all present on the call today. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण अनीता माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, प्रीतिदासी प्रसाद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Thank you for joining so consistently, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. This is Shamagari Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shamagari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. And thank you for giving us your association. And thank you for all your services, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. And thank you so much for all your wonderful non-stop services. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj. All glories to Ashtambali devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Uttar. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call, and thank you for your association, Mataji. Thank you for joining every day, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Ramya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sundarangi Radha Devidasi from India. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call and giving us your association. Thank you for your wonderful services, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Anybody else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Elcon. Thank you so much, Mataji, for agreeing to do additional services. And thank you for your wonderful services every time. Hare Krishna.
All glories to Guru Maharaj and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna Indulekha Karuna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call, and thank you for all your wonderful services behind the screens, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to all the devotees on the call. This is Harita from Texas, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, for all your wonderful services. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nitya Mataji, all glories to the Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association every single day. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call. Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Mukti Sangha conference call for the session of Srimad Bhagavatam, which will be given by His Grace, Keshavanand Prabhu. But before moving on to the session, I would like to call on Sundarangi Radha Mataji to give brief introduction about Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. We are so fortunate to have His Grace Keshavanand Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Here is a brief introduction about Prabhuji. Prabhuji was a professional doctor for many years and he is now a practicing monk. Since the last 20 years, he has conducted extensive research and authored books in the field of science and spirituality. He feels the rift between science and spirituality must disappear to bring peace in the world. If spirituality is a superstition and a myth, science is materialistic and atheistic. A new approach to life is needed today that can bring the best of both. Science must re-embrace spirituality and be humble to admit its defects, flaws, and ignorance. And spirituality also must base itself on sound, scientific and rational ideas. Keshavananda Prabhuji has studied both Vedic and Western philosophy. Besides learning Sanskrit, he also learned Bengali, Gujarati, Marathi, Kannada to know other traditions. His persistent endeavor in the field of science and spirituality has enabled him to come up with seminars on diverse topics mm, like mind and machines, Vedas, science and the Vedas, and science fails to explain life, consciousness, and beyond, etc. But he has presented in various colleges in India, Europe, Asia, Europe, and America. Prabhuji, under the guidance of his spiritual master, His Holiness Bhaktivika Swami, he has also started a Gurukula, a traditional system of Vedic education in Punjab, India, where children learn the ancient Vedic culture and values. Besides, he has started a farm community. The community has a traditional way of living with mud huts and thatch roof. With cows, of course, farming is also included. The communities will set a model for the world to show how to live a life based on the principle of simple living and high thinking. All glories to Prabhuji's all wonderful services. Thank you so much, Mataji. Here was the brief introduction. Over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Radha Mataji. Thank you so much for that brief introduction about Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And yeah, Prabhuji's services are really very glorious and like the tagline, simple living and high thinking. So, yeah. So we'll wait for Prabhuji.
No, we can
Prabhuji.
read the verse. We can read.
Ah, okay. Okay, Mataji. So we'll share the screen, Mataji. Can you see the screen, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, okay. Hare Krishna, dear devotee. So today's class will be given by His Grace Keshavanand Prabhuji. And it is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 13, verses from 1 to 11. Description of future Manus. Text 1. Hare Krishna. Shri Guru Maharaj ki. Shri Shuka Uvacha Manurvivasvata Putraha Shraddha Shraddhadeva iti Shrutah Saptamo Vartamano Yastadapatyani Me Shunu. Translation. All translations by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Sukadeva Goswami said, the present Manu, who is named Shraddhadeva, is the son of Vivaswan, the predominating deity on the sun planet. Shraddhadeva is the seventh Manu. Now, please hear from me as I describe his sons. Text 2 and 3. Ikshvakurnabaghashchaiva drishtasharyatireva cha narishyanto athana bhagaha saptamo dishta uchyate tarushascha prashadrascha dashamo vasuman smrutah manurvaivasvatasyaite dashaputra parantapa. Translation. O King Parikshit, among the 10 sons of Manu are Ikshvaku, Nabhaga, Drashta, Sharyati, Narishyanta, and Nabhaga. The seventh son is known as Dishta. Then come Tarusha and Prishadra, and the 10th son is known as Vasuman. Text 4. आदित्यावसवो रुद्रा विश्वे देवमरुद्गणाः अश्विना ऋभवो राजन्निन्द्रस्तेषां पुरन्दरः. Translation. In this Manvantara, O King, the Adityas, the Vasus, the Rudras, the Vishvedevas, the Maruds, the two Ashwini Kumara brothers, and the Ribhus are the demigods. Their head king Indra is Purandara. Text 5. Kashyapo atirvashishtascha Vishwamitra Gautamaha Jamadhagnir Bharadvaja iti saptarishayah smutaha. Translation. Kashyapa, Atri, Vashishta, Vishwamitra, Gautama, Jamadagni, and Bharadvaja are known as the 7 sages. Text 6. Atrapi Bhagavad-janma Kashyapat aditerabhut Adityanam avarajo Vishnurvamana Rupadrik. Translation. In this Manvantara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared as the youngest of all the Adityas, known as Vamana, the dwarf. His father was Kashyapa and his mother Aditi. Text 7. संक्षेपतो मयोक्तानि सप्तमन्वन्तराणि ते भविष्यानि अथ वक्ष्यामि विष्णो शक्यानि वितानि च. Translation. I have briefly explained to you the position of the 7 Manus. Now, I shall describe the future Manus along with the incarnations of Lord Vishnu. Text 8. विवस्वतश्च द्वेज्याये विश्वकर्मा सुते उभे संज्ञा छाया च राजेन्द्र ये प्रागभिहिते तव. Translation. O King, I have previously described in the 6th canto the 2 daughters of Vishwakarma named Samgya and Chaya, who were the first 2 wives of Vivaswan. Text 9. तृतीयां वडवां येके तासां संज्ञसुतास्त्रयः यमो यामि श्राद्धदेवश्चायश्च सुतान् शृणु. Translation. It is said that the sun god had a 3rd wife named Vadava. Of the 3 wives, the wife named Samya had 3 children, Yama, Yami, and Shraddadeva. Now let me describe the children of Chaya. Savarnistapti tapati kanya bharya samvaranasya cha samvaranasya ya Sanaishcharas tritiyo bhut ashvino vadavatmajo. Translation. Chaya had a son named Savarani and a daughter named Tapati, who later became the wife of King Samvarna. Chaya's third child is known as Shanaishchara, Saturn. Vadava gave birth to two sons, namely the Ashwini brothers. अष्टमे अंतर आयाते सावर्णिर्भविता मनुः निर्मोक विरजस्थाद्याः सावर्णि तनया नृपा. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O King, when the period of the 8th Manu arrives, Savarni will become the Manu. Nirmoka and Virajaska will be among his sons. Purport. The present region is that of Vaivasvata Manu. According to astronomical calculations, we are now in the 28th Yuga of Vaivasvata Manu. Each Manu lives for 171 yugas and 14 such Manus rule in one day of Brahma. We are now in the period of Vaivasvata Manu, the 7th Manu, and the 8th Manu will come into existence after millions of years. But Shukadeva Goswami, having heard from authorities, foretells that the 8th Manu will be Savarni and that Nirmoka and Virajaska will be among his sons. Shastra can foretell what will happen millions and millions of years in future. Hare Krishna. So those are the verses for today. Prabhuji has joined.
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
joined.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. This is Samson. Okay, shed spotlight.
Yeah, it is Samsung. Yeah. SMT8.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and giving us your association. And dear devotees, I once again welcome for this Bhakti Sangha Japa for the morning session of Srimad Bhagavatam, which will be given by His Grace, Keshavanand Prabhu. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Okay. Toma Gyanati Marandasya Gyananjana Shalaka Chakshurum Litam Veda Tasma. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prethaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namasya Asteliko Prachari Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Ashtavadeshta Shirovaki. So, quite a big list of Manus. And I think the list continues. The idea, why Sukadeva Goswami is going in so many details of like sun god, their sons, Manu, and their daughters, it's like, so I call information. But we know that the first three verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, they set the scene, by the way. So it is said in first three verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, Pivatam Bhagavatam, Rasamalaya. That's how it goes. So what we are doing now? So what? So Pivatam Bhagavatam Rasamalaya. The entire Bhagavatam is to taste the rasa, the ecstasy of devotional service. So well, one might imagine, okay, fine, if it's to taste the rasa of devotional service, there has to be pastimes of God. And there are 10th canto, Varadev, Narsimha Bhagwan, and all this. What's the use of this lineage? That's the idea. And of course, in this lineage, it might matter if they were devotees, all of them. Just like Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami gives the lineage of all the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's trunk, Chaitanya Prabhu's trunk, Advaitacharya. It makes sense because all are devotees and we like to chant the names of God, chant the names of devotees. It's ecstatic. But here, all these sons, Manus are devotees, but their sons, their daughters, not all of them are devotees. It's not like that. Sukadev's wife Chaya, Sangya, they were not like pure devotees. Of course they were. Through history, it's not explained in Bhagavatam, but it's explained somewhere else. So why so many names? Sukadeva Goswami, and another question is how Sukadeva Goswami knows all these names. And on the top of that, why Sukadeva Goswami is interested to tell all these names when 2 points when Parikshit has only 7 days. Like it's a waste of time to speak all this lineage in one sense. Yes, he has just 7 days to live, and Sukadeva Goswami should have just come to the point. Okay, let's discuss about Varadev, Narsimdev, and another thing is Sukadeva Goswami himself. He is not interested in all these details. He is Bal Brahmachari. He's not even interested in wearing clothes. So why he's interested in this news? Such kind of news. So this question has to be thought over, and then we can link it with Pivatam Bhagavatam Rasamad. So what's the point of all this is? So the point of all this is, there are 2 points, very important point Prabhupada mentions there. One is authority. Sukadeva Goswami, whatever he's telling, he is telling, okay, I'm interested in Krishna's pastimes. That's it. But, and also other pastimes of other incarnations, but I have to show that this is not my speculation. That's the whole point there. Somebody can say you're just speaking from your own mind. There were so many jnanis and yogis and dhyanis there who were listening to Sukdev. It was not Parikshit alone. That this point we have to keep in mind. That is why many times Sukdev Goswami, he's again and again confirming to Parikshit Maharaj that you see, this is a conclusion of scriptures. You have to do devotion to Hari. Iti nirnitam. Hare Sakshat iti nirnitam. This is the conclusion. He's saying again and again. Because there are so many other people. For Parikshit, you don't need to confirm. He is a devotee. So when the audience are very broad, when you're speaking, you have to think from different angles. This katha is not just for Parikshit. This is for so many people who were attending that, let's say, seminar, some kind of katha. Who were attending the talk. Demigods were attending in the sky. There's so many people attending. So Sukadeva Goswami has to cater to everybody. And that is why in Srimad Bhagavatam, you see 11th canto, 12th canto, Sukadeva Goswami is speaking about Dhyana Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Just no relevance to Parikshit. But he's speaking and he's saying in Dhyana Yoga, the subject matter is Vishnu. That is for Dhyana Yogis. Okay, you're doing Dhyana Yoga, fine, but add Vishnu. Jnana Yoga, okay, you're doing Jnana Yoga, add Vishnu. Parikshit, it's not required. For Parikshit, straight away, he should have gone to 10th canto, but he didn't do. He had to prepare others also to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. If we would have been a private meeting between Parikshit and Sukdev Goswami would have spoken Srimad Bhagavatam, isn't it? Direct. There's no need of all these things. Okay, Parikshit, fine, you're there. Let's come to 10th canto. Okay, Krishna's born. Okay, fine. That's good. Parikshit is also asking questions such a way so that it helps others who are hearing. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam. Like, for example, Parikshit asks in this, what do we say? In Ras Leela topic. He's asking, what, Sukadeva Goswami, Krishna he's God and he's dancing with females. Like, this is not a good character. God should be like Ram and what he's doing. So then Sukadeva Goswami says, well, I've already told Krishna is beyond modes of material nature and this is transcendental. This question Parikshit is asking for others, not for himself. Like this, there are so many questions which he's asking for others. We can understand that through commentaries. So Sukadeva Goswami here, he's giving this information for other people to establish authority. Okay, so many Manus, their daughters, the sun god, and this information had been passed down through this generation. That's the idea there. It's not my own cooking in my mind. I've received it from previous authorities. And Prabhupada also says, and another thing is, by speaking all these things, Sukadeva Goswami is also giving this impression that this that this knowledge is beyond time and space, because Prabhupada writes in the last verse, he is also predicting future Manu, 8th Manu. We are in 7th Yuga, he's in the 7th Manu. So he's predicting future Manus. So by this proves that this knowledge, the whatever knowledge is getting, it is beyond time. There's future, there's past, there's present. So it has some substance to it, that side. And all these lineages, they also were glorifying Krishna. That's the idea. It's not me alone. Sun God was glorifying Krishna. Manu glorifies Krishna. Like all these are also devotees in some of them. So that's important comes in Bhagavad Gita. That's why Arjuna asked us question. What's that? Evam vivasvate yogam proktavan avyam. Arjuna asked, you spoke this science to sun god. So yeah, you're telling me, but then is it just new or is it like old? Krishna says, okay, I have spoken this to sun god before, and then down it came in Suryavanshis, and then now it is coming to you. Even Krishna has to establish authority what he speaks. He didn't say, okay, I'm speaking, I'm God. He didn't do that. This knowledge has been passed, transmitted through chain, and now it is coming to you. It was lost. Sakalirana Mehta, by the force of time, it was lost, but now I'm reviving it again. So that's what Sukadeva Goswami is doing. He is establishing the authority of Bhagavatam by speaking all these names and giving an impression to Parikshit. Parikshit, this is knowledge for everyone, passed through generations. It's nothing new, and this is authentic. Whatever else is speculation. That's what he's trying to do. So, one thing. Another point why he's speaking all these things is very important. To actually, one thing is to inform Parikshit and others that death is nothing. Parikshit is going to die. Anybody can become disturbed when you die. So there was something saying so many people have come and his Manu, their daughters, and this, and so great people, sun god and this, come and gone. So Manus have gone. So don't worry about your death. Death is nothing. Death is an illusion. That's one of the message of all this information. And you see, death is an illusion. Or some saints, they say death is a festival. Because death is an illusion because nobody dies. Body is already dead, soul is already living. But death is a separation between soul and body. Nobody is really dying there. So, but death is also a festival. Because after death, if you're a devotee, you go and meet Krishna, that's all. Everything is over, you're out of this trash. Mahaprabhu says, there's a stool pit. You're out of this stool pit. Finish, once and for all. So death is not to be feared. And that's the message of all these names, These people were there, they're erased from the face of this universe. They're no longer there. So, and here you are, and you're going to die, and people forget you also. Just don't worry about anything. So by reading actually when a devotee reads all these things, our purpose is not to remember these daughters, these sons, and this, and our purpose is to see the purpose behind what Sukadeva Goswami is saying. So first point is to establish authority. Second point is to make us fearless. You see, fear comes because we think everything is finished, we'll die. But when we read all these names, they were there and they like, everything is finished. So, okay, that's the law of nature. It goes in our mind. So if it happens, it's nothing to be, worried about. And another thing is, if everybody is dying, then perhaps death is easy, isn't it? If they're dead, it should be easy to die, isn't it? It's not difficult. If everybody's dying. He died. Okay, it's not that. By the way, life is difficult, not death. To live is very, it's horrible. But death is easy. Just finish. So, and of course, if you have an accident, you're like, you will not even come to know what's happening. So you die. So forget about death. That's one of the big message of. It's not just this. So many times Sukadeva Goswami is giving a list, so many, kings and this and that and that. That's the point what he's trying to convey. If you want to come in contact with Krishna, be fearless. Overcome the fear of death. It's an illusion. Fear is an illusion. That is another illusion. We are programmed. We are conditioned to fear death. And if there is fear, there is no Krishna. If there is bhai, there is no Krishna. That's all. They don't gel together. Abhayam satvasam shuddhi. Where there is abhay, there you have God. Where there is bhai, there you have devil, demoniac forces. In fact, if your fear, demoniac forces can affect you only if you are fearful. If you are not fearful, they cannot affect you. They cannot affect your psyche. That's a rule in astrology. That's a rule in like all the, like all, what's that called? Uh, yeah. All the paranormal incidences and all these things, and what's that? I'm just forgetting the name. Anyway, black magic and all these things. So if you fear, in fact, it's not just medical science proves. If you have a disease, and if you have fear of that disease, it'll just escalate because of flight and fight reaction. It just escalate. You're fearful, your body will become tensed, more inflamed, and disease will take over. But if you have disease and if you don't fear that disease, if you come face to face with that disease and say, well, fine, that's okay, I accept it, and then let's find a solution. Your body starts healing. That's the idea there. So if that's with disease and all, then of course to come in contact with God, you have to get out of fear. Otherwise, if you're fearful, then you take wrong decisions, then your mind is blocked, and then you can't focus on God. That's why Krishna says, Masucha, don't fear. Now, how to get over fear? This. That's why third, fourth, fifth canto, all the dynasties, Sun dynasty, Moon dynasty, so many names. Okay, so many kings, so many people. We are one of them. And that's the third point, the third take of this, all these names, to make us humble. Krishna wants us to become humble. So see, now, of course, we'll become humble. His sun god, there are Manus who have been living like 72 yoga, something like that. Lifespan, such a big lifespan. How much lifespan we have? 100 years. And we think we are great. And that's a tragedy, isn't it? So we become humble by reading all these things. We get a broad view. It's not just we. There were many people who were greater than us, who were more powerful than us. No matter how much powerful you are at present on the earth, President of America or India. But these people were like managers of the entire universe. Manus and Indra and Suryadev. So then who are we? So by reading all these things, we remember our position. It helps us to cultivate Trinata Visunichi. And that's one of the pre-qualification to do Sada Kirtanihari. So it's not that, okay, fine, this is like boring. This is not boring. Pipatam, Bhagavatam, Rasamalam. You see, all these things, discussion helps us to go towards Rasa by developing necessary qualifications of humility, fearlessness, firm faith in the authority of scriptures, and then you traverse on the path of Rasa. So it's helping. That is why it is said Pipatam Bhagavatam Rasamalyam. That is why it is said. Otherwise, And there's no point of all these discussions, at least in Bhagavad Puran. Bhagavad Puran should be like condensed to the point. That's it. But it's not like that. Having said this, there's another deep point in this, all these discussions. You can also interpret all these names in a very conceptual and very philosophical way. That's another thing. That's another beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam. Like for example, present Manu, who is named as Shraddha Dev, son of Vivaswan. So what's that? Vivaswan, Shraddha Dev. Shraddha Dev is the seventh Manu. Or maybe sun god, for example. Sun god, he had two wives, Chaya and Sangya. So that's Surya Dev, Chaya and Sangya. What is Chaya? Shadow. What is Sangya? Sangya is consciousness. So mysteries are hidden in these names. And what's the mystery? The idea is sun god. If you are in sunlight, somehow you know how to access sunlight, you can expand your consciousness. Because the wife or sun god is Sangya. That's a Shakti. And many people they do. So I've heard about sun gazing. Sun gazing is there. What they do, and they get energy through sun gazing. It's not just new. It's not new. Egyptians, these Christian fathers, they used to sun gaze, and they didn't used to eat anything. They used to get energy from sun consciousness. It's all recorded. Even now people do. So there is, and sun, it is said in Upanishad, sun has 72,000 rays. And the 72,000 rays of sun nourishes 72,000 nadis of our body. That is why people used to go in the morning and do Sandhya Vandanam this morning. They used to take bath in the river, like whole body is exposed. And then they used to, pray to sun god for 15-20 minutes. That 15-20 minutes exposure of sunlight to the body, that increases their power of consciousness and awareness. So that's sun god's wife, Sangya, Shakti. Just like Krishna and Radha, same thing. Radha is Hladini Shakti. You see, there's a concept behind it. You come in contact with Radha, you get happiness. Similarly, if you come in contact with Sangya, the wife of sun god, you get Sangya, you get consciousness and awareness, it expands. How to come in contact with her son and sun wife? What is sun's wife? Sun rays, Shakti. Shaktiman. That's what we hear, isn't it? So that's why there is a big philosophy hidden in these names, a secret. That's the beauty of Purana, all the Puranas. These names are not random. These are not random. They are secrets. They are Chaya. One of the wife of sun god is Chaya. What happens with that? Chaya means shadow. There's a big mystery there, shadow. Now, what do you do? Sunlight and shadow. But shadow and sunlight never mixes, isn't it? If there's sunlight, there cannot be shadow. But shadow accompanies light. That's the idea. Wherever there is no light, there is shadow. And that is why Chaya could never be happy with sun god. She was never happy with sun god. There was always a tussle. If you read the story of sun god and Chaya and Sangya, Shani was born of Chaya. And he was fierce and blackish in complexion. And sun god said, come on, what's happening? Because Chaya is shadow, she's blackish in complexion. So light and shadow remains together. And that's a philosophical point there. Light and awareness, light and shadow, they go together. So where there is light, there is mode of goodness, awareness. Wherever there is light, parallel to it, there will be tamogun, mode of ignorance. You have to choose where you have to go. So that is, you see the point is, so all these names, if you see, all these commentators explain, all these names have a symbolic meaning. So that's the idea. Symbolic meaning, or what's that in Sanskrit? what's that called? I just forget the Sanskrit term for this. Yogic meanings. Rudi is direct meaning, yogic is secondary meanings, interpretive meanings. So all these names, for example, here, Kashyap, Atri, Vashisht, Vishwamitra, Gautam, Jamadagni, Bhardwaj, there are 7 sages. They have a meaning for this. Like Kashyap, what's the meaning of Kashyap? Kashyap, Atri, Vashisht. I have to think. I'm just missing, but all these names have a meaning. You can go on net and see what's the meaning of Kashyap. So, but anyway, the 7 sages represents 7 qualities. Kashyap, Atri, Vashisht, Vishwamitra, Gautam, Jamadagni, Bhardwaj. They have a particular meaning, and if you worship these 7 sages, that is mean if you get these 7 qualities, then you advance in spirituality. So exactly, I'm like missing this the meaning of this, but you can see the net. But Madhvacharya and all these Vedic commentators, these 7 sages are Vedic sages. Like for example, one of the meaning I'll say Vishwamitra. What's the meaning of Vishwamitra? Vishwamitra, who is friend of entire world. Suirdam Sarvabhutanam. That's one quality which Krishna has given to him, and that is why he's named as Vishwamitra. They are not named randomly, these sages. Like us, Tony, Lucky, Tommy. It's not like that. Or maybe what UK, what names they have? Rachel. What is Rachel? Well, Rachel is probably an angel. But what else?
Neil Tranter.
Yeah, Neil Tranter. What's the meaning of that? Or Yasmin Lambert. What's the meaning of that? Or Jasmuheen. Stephen. So it doesn't have, but it's not with sages. So Vishwamitra. This is one quality. 7 sages, 7 qualities, which you must imbibe in your life if you want to worship God, because the 7 sages are perpetually worshipping Krishna. So you see, there's a philosophical angle there, adhyatmic angle to all this Adi Bhautik description. Adi Bhautik means historical description. We learn from it, we get inspiration. I told fearlessness, humility. But within these names, behind these names, is a philosophical angle. Vishwamitra. What else is there? Let me just think. Kashyap, Atri. I have to think. I'm just missing. But anyway, you can see the meanings. One example I've given Vishnu. So like that, if you see all the names, Vaman, like for example, Kashyap, Aditi and Diti, you see, Diti means what? Diti means light. And what is Aditi? Aditi means what? Aditi means not darkness, not like ulta, not like Aditi doesn't mean darkness. Diti and Aditi. Aditi means no, light. Diti means light. Duty, from that light comes, because I'll go into that later. But Aditi means with light with Krishna, because A means Krishna. Akarinochyate Krishna, Gita says. I am letter A in, so A means Krishna and Diti means light, whose light is connected to Krishna, to God. She was a great devotee, Aditi, in preference to Diti. You see the point there? Kashyap had 2 wives, Diti, Aditi. Aditi was a devotee, Diti was not such a devotee. And that is why she only got Hiranyakashipu. Diti was Aditi, no. So she produced asuras, and Aditi produced demigods who were devotees, and Diti produced asuras who were not devotees. It's right in their name. Actually, I would have seen the meaning of Kashyap, but it's bad. Yeah. Anybody can Just okay, fine. If anybody has a net, you can have a look the meaning of a Kashyap there for me, and then I can tell you. But you get the idea. And you get the idea. So that's the whole point there. So that is why these names are not useless for discussion. Sukadeva Goswami, this is Pivatam Bhagavatam Rasamalam. You see, there's so much philosophy, and this is not just philosophy. If you really go in depth, what happens is you will see all these names are related to Krishna. These are all names of Krishna. Sukadeva Goswami is speaking about them. He has a historical perspective. He has a philosophical perspective. And then there is a devotional perspective. Every word of Bhagavatam is a name of Krishna. Swadu, Swadu, Pade, Pade. So, okay, fine. So let's go back. Sure, Suredev, and Chaya and Sangya. Sure is one of the name of Krishna. This is one of the name of the Krishna. Why? Krishna is called Surya because he gives light of love. He's a son of Yashoda. Sonnsuna. He's the son of Vrindavan, the moon of Vrindavan, and the son of Vrindavan. Ramchandra, Surya dynasty. So that's why he's called Surya, because he comes in, because he ornaments Surya dynasty by taking avatar in it. That's why he's called Surya. He gives light to this world and devotion. Kashyap is one of Saprishi's meaning progenitor, creator. No, this is wrong. I want the Sanskrit meaning of this. Kashyap symbolizes wisdom, longevity, creation, wisdom. No, I need the breakup of Kashyap. Kashyap. I don't know why I forgot. Tortoise? No. No, that you are seeing in Chat GPT, Google. And that is Kachap. Don't rely on internet only for this. Fine, you just have a look.
Pashyaka, one who sees.
Was that?
Pashyaka, one who sees, becomes Kashyapa. It gets reversed in Sanskrit.
What Kashyap means one who sees.
It's actually Pashyaka, one who sees, and it gets reversed in Sanskrit to become Kashyapa. So there is some Sanskrit grammar rule where the syllables get reversed. Actually, it means a seer, one who sees.
Oh, really? Acha. Okay, that might be the thing. Fine. So you have a seer, and then you have two wives. One is a devotee, and another is a non-devotee. So you can associate, you can become a devotee or you can become a non-devotee. Depends on how you see the situation. Am I right? So if it means this, then you can connect this like that. So you see the philosophy here. Now Surya, now that's one thing. Now there's a devotion here. Surya is one of the name of Krishna. Sangha is another name of Krishna. Because original consciousness is Krishna. He is the original consciousness. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shabdate. Brahmane Pratishtaham. You see? And Chaya is also one of the name of Krishna. Why? Because it is Krishna only, Adhotishtanti Tamasa, who pushes demoniac people in the darkness of evil. So it's called as Chaya. In the form of Maya, he covers everybody's mind. That's why it's called as Chaya. You see? So all these names are Chaya. Vishwamitra, one of the names of Krishna, Suhirdam Sarvabhutanam. He is Vishwamitra. So like that, all these names are actually glorifying Krishna. Every word actually, every word here. So this is how that is why they said Swadu, Swadu, Pate, Pate. And all these mysteries get opened if you associate with devotees, if you hear from them, meditate on this. And then you know, this is not a misfit here. So the Goswami is not just wasting his time, speaking all these names. So Sukadeva Goswami is the last person who will be interested to waste time. And and give you some list of names. He'll not do that. Some other rishis could have done, but he is not the person. So that's what is happening. It's nice. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anybody wants to ask anything? I'll end up.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you again for this wonderful class. As always, so you gave like why Shukadeva Goswami has to speak all these things. So first of all, he's saying about the authority, and then he's saying all these names he's mentioned to for us to become fearless. Yeah, thank you so much. So when one has the fear, his mind will be collapsed. I just like that point. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Means like he cannot think in a proper way. Thank you so much. Yeah, so dear devotees, any questions or realizations, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I wanted to thank you for this today's wonderful class, and thank you, devotees, for enlightening me on Kashyap, because mine is the Kashyap Gotra, and I always wanted to know the meaning behind it. So there is a nice, Prabhuji, I don't know if you have seen, one of the devotees has mentioned it on the chat. So that was very enlightening for me. And thank you for the wonderful class, as always, Prabhu. Many pranams at your lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. And there is one, someone named SYU saying, you have a question? You can unmute and ask question, Prabhu or Mataji. Hare Krishna, any questions?
No questions today.
Okay. I think everyone is thinking of the meaning of name Kashyapa. Maybe they are going to respond. Hare Krishna.
You can all do one homework, you know. You all these names, write, make a list, go on net and see their meanings, separate meanings, and then you make a list, and then you see all these will be qualities of God. So you can do the exercise. That will be good exercise.
Very nice. Yeah, yes, Prabhuji, yes. As you said in the class also that so why Shukadeva Goswami has to mention all these names and all these things. Even Parikshit, at the verge of his death, he is asking so many questions. And for everything, Shukadeva Goswami is replying. So the thing is, like we have to know about Krishna. And when you, as you said, when we read all these names itself is like reading Krishna's names and qualities. So yeah, thank you so much. We have one, it's not a question, but something they're asking. I'm in my 25. I want to join spiritual as full time, but my parents don't allow me. Okay. So Prabhuji, that seems to be personal question. So you can mail to Prabhuji.
So, yeah, so you can type my mail there on the, if somebody knows, you know.
Yeah.
So that Prabhuji can.
I think each and every class you say your mail ID, Prabhu. So can you come again once, one more time?
Yeah, it is Keshavanand, KESHAVANAND 108 @gmail.com. That's how I go.
Mataji, we can put that in the playlist also where we put introduction. I can copy paste that email ID there. So whoever come across, they will get the email ID.
Yeah,
that's
right.
good.
Okay.
One devotee is a Srimad. He's a hand. Somebody.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful class. So, Prabhuji, my question is regarding this Gotra, because, you know, when we get initiated, second initiated, so our Gotra will change, a devotee's Gotra, means disciples' Gotra will change. Whatever the spiritual master Gotra has, that a disciple will get, right? So,
No. Who said this?
No. Am I wrong, Prabhuji?
Yeah. What's this? Your Gotra is Gotra. Your spiritualization is spiritualization. It doesn't change, isn't it? That they say Achyut Gotra, your devotees, but it doesn't change like that. What a Gotra is. Gotra means what? Gotra means you are in that lineage. If you are
Right.
Kashyap,
So,
you are in the lineage of Kashyap. You are like descendants of descendants of descendants of Kashyap. So that doesn't change, isn't it? That fact doesn't change. Suddenly you get initiation. So Kashyap Muni, like he's
okay.
gone, isn't it?
Okay. No, presently I'm Vashishta Gotra Prabhuji. So now because I got initiated, so now because now I'm following my Guru Maharaj like Achut. So now my Gotra will change because somewhere something, my ancestors might have took initiation from some Guru Maharaj and then the Gotra was changed, right? So
No. Gotra means genetic lineage.
okay,
At the time of initiation, you don't get genes of your guru, isn't it?
right.
His
Sorry,
genes
I
are
don't
fixed.
have.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a scientific thing. Gotra is a scientific thing. That's a genetic lineage, and that's all. Finish.
Okay. So it okay.
Mm.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji, for clarifying it.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Roji. So spiritually, I think many of our acharyas and maharajas say we belong to Achita Gotra, which means Krishna's family. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's spiritual perspective.
Prabhuji, one follow-up question after the other Prabhuji that was asking. What happened to the Hindu origin woman when we get married? Because, for example, I come from Kashyap Gotra. What would happen like after the marriage? And what if the woman is married to the person that don't know the Gotras, for example? Another question, if they're married to a white.
Well, if you are married to somebody else, then your genes are like mixed, because previously there were no inter-Gotras marriage. They used to see Gotras and they used to see particular, status, Brahman, Kshatriya, and then they used to marry. So inter-Gotra doesn't used to happen. But now there's inter-Gotra or somebody doesn't have Gotra, so it's all mixed. So it doesn't have any functional value now, Gotra. It just goes for namesake now, presently. So it doesn't have any function there. Because people from Kashyap Gotra, people from other Gotras, they were at specific duties. Like because that's a lineage, so they were, so it's not just genes but culture and traditional practices used to pass along that line. So you were like, if you're Kashyap Gotra, so then you were supposed to follow some practices, traditional practice, but those are all lost, and all inter Gotra marriages. So in Kali Yuga, Gotra doesn't have much importance here,
Right.
like that.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks for your reflection. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. There is one question: destination is real or myth? But can you elaborate your question, Prabhu? Prabhu or Mataji, whoever it is. Destination is what you mean, like the ultimate goal you're saying? I don't understand.
No.
Yes, yeah. So this Prabhuji is asking, ultimate goal of our life, which we say is myth or real, which means going and attaining Krishna. I think that is the question.
What's this? I can't understand.
So Prabhuji is asking that what is the ultimate destination we say, ultimate goal of life we say that we'll have to go to Krishna, right? So we'll have to do our devotion service and go to Krishna. So whether it is real or it's a myth, this Prabhuji's question is on the whole, whatever we do is real or myth, I think. That is the question he's asking. Yes, why you, Prabhuji or Mataji, can you please elaborate? Is this right? Is this a question you're asking?
Probably. I don't know. It's
So,
forget it.
okay, fine. Yeah, so I don't think so. So Prabhuji, your question is not clear, so we are moving ahead. So I don't find any questions or hand raised, Prabhuji. So with your permission, I think we can end the session here.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna,
Okay.
dear devotees. So thank you so much for coming on the call, and Okay, sorry. Hare Krishna, dear Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much for giving us your association, and thank you so much for this wonderful session. So, with your permission, we can end the session here, and we want your association in future also. Hare Krishna. So, devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Vancha kalpa
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
Vaishnav
वृंद की जय।
Prabhupada ki jai, His Grace Keshavanand
Thank you so
Prabhuji
much, Prabhu.
ki jai.
Yay! Hare Krishna,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you so